Among those who are not afraid of death are those who have nothing. You welcome viewers to this episode. We'll continue with our tablet PMP of February 3 to 5, 2003. We stopped at the story of a pastor who elopes with a married woman. The story was given by Stella Guni of PMP. Today we're going to My Lover is a Bedwetter. Yes, so I think this from a small-minded person. That's my opinion. Anyway, let's go. When residents around the Asawasi Community Center on Sunday, January 19, 2003, heard Mr. Kofi Amwako, 45, a Kumasi businessman, and his lover, whose name was given as Ama Pokua, 27, were quarreling. They believed that it was one of their usual things, and so they didn't give it any thought. But the surprise came when Mr. Amako allegedly out of rage, said his lover was a bedwetter and vowed to discontinue the relationship because he couldn't stand her anymore. Well, I don't know. Narrating the story, the PMP on Monday, January 20, 2003, a day after the incident, Mr. Amako, who lives in Asawasi in Kumasi, explained that he befriended Pukua in October last year with a promise to marry her this year, but realized that she always wet her bed at night. Full stop. Amako said that anytime Ama slept with him on the same bed, he noticed the next day that part of the bed sheet was wet with urine. Unable to contain the smell of the urine any longer, he stopped her from coming to pass the night with him and managed to tell her about what he had noticed and planned to find a cure for her. I see. Okay, I think so. On Sunday, January 19, 2003, Amako indicated that Ama called at his house at 10 p.m. without his knowledge, but he allowed her to pass the night there because he just couldn't send her away. According to him, at 12 midnight, when he decided to sleep, he detected that Ama had again wet the sheet. Sad. He woke up and drew her attention to what she had done, but instead of being apologetic, she rather took offense and rained insults on him. Oh, I see. I think that's a point. Amako said her actions provoked him so much that he pushed her out from the room. And as they were exchanging words on top of their voices, the noise attracted neighbors who heard our Pokua's news. Full stop. Asked why he insisted on speaking to the press, Amako told PMP that he simply wanted to expose her to the public. I have kicked her out and I don't need her anymore, the aggrieved businessman concluded. Story by Ohene Foster, Kumasi. Ohene Foster is not a real name. I know him. Ohene Foster is a fake name. Okay. Yes, let's go to another story. Trader marries two men. The marriage is in inverted commas. Trader marries two men. Deborah Tete, 28, a teacher of Afiaman near Amasaman, has dented her image by marrying two men at the same time. It's no news. It's been going on. It's been going on. I don't know what sort of women they are. Hmm? They are not satisfied with sleeping with men. Hmm? They are not satisfied with men. At the same time, both men, Robert Ayi and Bismarck Aqua, had always thought that they were the only men in her life. But a fight between the two on November 7, 2002 let the cat out of the bag. Realizing that they were rivals sharing the same woman, Ayi became Ayi became so enraged that as he possessed, he caused damage to various items that had been sent to Aqua's shop for repairs. Later, he was arrested by the police for causing unlawful damage and arraigned before the Amasaman Magistrate Court. Full stop. Paragraph. Prosecution disclosed that the complainant, Robert Aqua, is a radio mechanic resident in Afiama, and the accused, a mason, lives both in Accra and Afiaman. Initially, the accused, who got married to Deborah for about 5 years with 3 children, was permanently resident in Afiama with the family, but was compelled to move to Accra to seek greener pastures as life became unbearable for him. He thus used to visit her on weekends. After some time, he detected a change in his wife's behavior, and when he questioned her, she said she shouldn't be she said he shouldn't be alarmed. But he later heard that she was seeing another man, Aqua. Hmm. So starts a woman with 5 children. When he again queried her, perhaps just to be sure about what he had heard, she said there was nothing going on between Aqua and her. Yeah. I remember the story. uh, on November 7, 2002, he went to visit his family unannounced, only to find an empty house. Full stop. After inquiry, he was told that his wife and children were living with Aqua. Following this, he went to Aqua's house and found to his dismay that his wife was indeed living there. Full stop. Paragraph. During a confrontation, Aqua allegedly claimed to be the legitimate husband of Deborah. uh, it's like people fighting over a book or something like that. Eh? So the wife has become a mere article to fight over. Uh, During a confrontation, Aqua allegedly claimed to be the legitimate husband of Deborah, explaining that he did not know Deborah was still married to him. I see. To make matters worse, Aqua allegedly claimed paternity of the last child. Kai! uh, Paternity of the last child. This angered him so much that he engaged Aqua in a fierce fight and in the process caused damage to the following items, totaling about 3.5 million CDs. The items are 3 radio cassette recorders and players, a car tape, then an RCA system, then 2 CD players, then two stabilizers. Paragraph. Prosecution said that during interrogation, he admitted causing damage to only the RCA system and not the other items. The court chaired by His Worship, Mr. Owusu, ordered Deborah to bring her father to court, ordered Deborah to bring her father to court the next adjourned date, as both were claimed to have performed the necessary rites to him. I see. So if right, then the man should be a hopeless man. That's Deborah's father, if that's right. Uh, sorry. The accused pleaded with the court to allow the last child to undergo a paternity test to determine the real father. Uh, Stay tuned by Stella Guni. Mhm. Student in prison for defiling and impregnating people. I don't know if we should go up to it. I don't think so. Oh, driver's mate stones passenger to death. I think we should go there. Mm. If the belief that ghosts exist is really true, when the ghost of young and energetic 29-year-old Kwabena Osei will definitely be turning in his grave and cursing his stars in the netherworld. Full stop. Nether is spelled Nether. I think he wants to write other world. Okay, I don't know. I don't know everything. I think he wants to say in the other world. I don't know. Okay. His rather harmless argument with a driver's mate ended in a disaster and his untimely death as the mate allegedly hit him on the head with a big stone. Oh, God. Unfortunately, the driver and his mate in a Toyota Hiace who bolted from the scene with a few passengers on board after the mate's heinous crime are yet to be apprehended and dealt with by the police. This is because eyewitnesses could not feed the police with the relevant information on the driver, his mate, and the car number. Information available to PMP indicate that on Farmers' Day last year, the deceased, who was a trader at Abusuakan and lived in Odoko, Accra, boarded a trotro which was plying the Malam Odoko highway. He reportedly told the mate that he would alight at the Accra Academy School gate, but the mate failed to relay but the mate failed to relay the information to the driver and he drove past the bus stop. When the driver finally stopped at the first light junction, Osei got down and very much angered, exchanged words with the mate. Before anyone could see Jack, the mate allegedly went for a big stone close by, hit it hard on the victim's head, and rushed into the vehicle, only for the driver to speed off. The victim fell unconscious, but eyewitnesses managed to rush him to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, where he gave up the ghost after 2 days. The victim has since been buried. Sometimes it's very sad, right? But still kills. He was right, but killed. Maybe because he was not very careful. Okay, having fun in marriage. Suffer no more in silence. Nikki will give you solutions to most of your beauty and slimming problems. Okay. Coming with life, how to raise well-behaved kids. Inspiration to live by. What men hate. Yes. We go to the story. What men hate. I can't remember the episode in which this story started, but okay, but still, this is the continuation. So, women who act as if they don't like sex. So, hypocrite women. So, Rose Hansi, thank you for feeding us with information, vital information concerning women. So women who act as if they don't like sex, in other words, they really do it, but they act. I don't know if they are there because if a woman loves sex, I don't know how she can hide it. Anyway, let's go. One man complains, I hate it when my wife acts like she is doing me a favor when we make love. Ah, I see. I see. For married women, it's not surprising. Mhm. Even though she likes it, she wants the husband to think that he's bothering her. Mhm. Okay, that's the complaint of one man. One man. I hate it when my wife acts like she is doing me a favor when we make love. She never actually says this, but I can almost hear her think. I can almost hear her thinking, "Oh, all right, bother me again for a week or two." In inverted commas, that's the wife talking. Oh, all right, bother me again for a week or two. Another man says, she makes me feel like something is wrong with me for for loving for loving sex, like I am some kind of animal or that I am less involved than she is because she has risen above the needs. Okay, that's another man complaining about women. And well, there are women like that who are not sexy, especially those who have gone under the knife. Mm. And I think that's the purpose of the knife, to make them, to prevent them from going wayward. But now I'm learning that there are women who are naturally like that. Or we are learning, I've read this story before. We're learning that there are women who are naturally like that. They don't like sex. She is I am less involved than she is because she has risen above the need. Yet another man says, yes, as another man's complaint. Yet another man says, I had a girlfriend. I had a girlfriend once. I had a girlfriend once who was afraid if she showed me how much she liked sex. This was, I think these modern days, they would rather be happy and they will worry you so much. I know women who are like that. Mm. If they don't get it, they won't leave you. No. You must give them one. When they come, you must give them one before they leave. Otherwise, trouble, fire. Okay. Uh, I had a girlfriend once who was afraid if she showed me how much she liked sex, she would be dirty or like a whore. So she would always play hard to get in bed, pretending to kind of endure the sex act, which made me feel like some kind of a pervert. Mm. Women who act like they don't like sex include women who are, okay, let's see the category of women who act like they don't like sex. One, make derogatory comments about sex. Make derogatory comments about sex. Then, uh, act embarrassed when talking about sex. So the hypocrites. Then, third one, uh, are frequently resistant to making love. No, I think they want to make the laugh spicy. I think so. Okay. Next one. Are critical of their husbands or boyfriends when they express their sexuality. Then last, have a let's get it over with attitude. Have a let us get it over with attitude, or act like sex is something to endure. Yes, they like it, but okay, I'll agree. Let's go. Let's have it. That's what it means by in inverted commas. Let us dash get it over with. Let us get it. Let me repeat it. In inverted commas. Let us dash get it over with attitude. or like sex is nothing to endure. Then, uh, why this turns men off? That's another section. Turns why this turns men off? When a woman acts as if she does not like sex, it makes a man feel wrong, bad, dirty, embarrassed, and judged to be more unrestrained than she is. It makes a man feel like he is not good enough. If he were a real man, it's not good enough, dash. If he were a real man, he would be able to make her want sex. Sex is the one of the only ways many men express their vulnerability with women. Next section. A man will not stay open and vulnerable to a woman he feels is making him or his desires wrong. I repeat it. A man will not stay open and vulnerable to a woman he feels is making him or his desires wrong. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's go to the next section. Reasons why women do this. We're now going to talk about women. Reasons why women do this. One, emotional tension in the relationship. If there is emotional tension in the relationship, the woman will definitely feel a diminished sexual desire. Full stop. Suppressed anger. Uh-huh. Suppressed anger, resentment, and mistrust will eventually kill the passion between you and your partner. Full stop. Women do not feel secure in a relationship outside marriage, and security is very important for desire. The same applies in the case of a married woman who is aware of the infidelity of her husband. She would not have the sexual desire for him because she does not trust him. Full stop. So work on healing the emotional relationship and your sexual relationship will blossom again. Two, that's the first point. That's the first point of the reasons why women do that. Point two, fear of pregnancy. Fear of pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases also damper the sexual desire of the woman. Full stop. Solve these problems and see how charged the woman will become. And see how charged the woman will become. Three, lack of love from the woman. If the woman does not really love the man, she will find a difficulty in continuing the sexual relationship. Full stop. So, if a woman does not really love a man, she does not have to force herself into a sexual relationship for any other reasons than except for any other reasons like money and security. It will surely end up in disaster. Four, women think that men don't respect women who like sex. Okay. Rose Hansen, I think you've done your research well. We must salute this woman. Hmm? Okay. Four, women think that men don't respect women who like sex. Okay. Most emotionally healthy men want a partner who enjoys sex, since this helps the man to feel comfortable with his own sexuality. So relax and be the sensual woman who with the only man you love. Sorry, let me take that again. So relax and be the sensual woman you are with only man you love. Five, you may not like sex, If you suspect that you have a deeper problem than those stated above and that you don't enjoy sex, I suggest you work with a sex therapist to try to discover why you are blocking your sexuality. This is often the case in women who sexually abused as children. This is often the case in women who are sexually abused as children. So if a woman is sexually abused during the childhood, she might not like sex. These are vital lessons for us all. Mm. Okay. Get help so you can be free to experience all of the expressions of love. Mm. All right. The above one is coping with life, how to raise well behaved kids. Mm. Identifying behaviors you want to improve. Let's see if we can go to the next page. Inspiration to live by the Minded I think we should read this. Inspiration to live by the Minded. In the battle of life, it's not the critic who counts, nor the one who points out how the wrong person stumbled, or where the doer of a deed could have done better. The credit belongs to the person who is actually in the arena, whose face is married by dust. Oh, sorry, whose face is mad, whose face is mad by dust. Mad spelled Marred, whose face is mad by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error. I see. And shortcoming, without error and shortcoming. Then, who does actually who does actually strive to do deeds? Then, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotion, spends oneself spends oneself in a worthy cause? Who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, comma, if he or she fails, at least fails while daring greatly. I love that. In other words, it's just condemning critics, people who criticize people by heart. Hmm? Okay. Far better it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failures, than to rank with those timid spirits. Than Let me take that again. Far better it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failures, than to rank with those timid spirits who neither enjoy nor suffer much because they live in the gray twilight that knows neither victory nor defeat. Yes, better to attempt and be, pardon me, better to attempt and be failing than to sit down without attempting at all, because you don't achieve anything by not attempting, just sitting down, zap, and not trying. So better to try and be criticized than not to try at all. Okay, a few quotes here. I don't know whether two or three, I think three. First, when God allows a burden to be put upon you, He will put His arms underneath you to help you carry it. This is a wise saying. Hmm? When God allows a burden to be put upon you, he will put his arms under you to help you carry it. I love that. Then, the man who gets ahead is the man who does more than is necessary and keeps on doing it. Yes, it's like the story that we just read. I think it's given by the same person. Hmm? Let me see, it's patient to the very left. Well, no writer's name is there, but maybe it's by the paper PMP. Hmm? The man who gets ahead is the man who does more than is necessary and keeps on doing it. Then the third one, worry can change the past, but it can ruin the present. Worry can change the past, but it can ruin the present. Another wise saying. Uh, let's go to Auntie Adiza advice. These are questions by the youth. They are trying to drive us apart. They are trying to drive us apart. I think this is Kukua Tema. Is my girl out of sync? I don't know if we should read them. No strength. Meddling mom. My mom is meddling into the affairs. Let's see. They are trying to drive us apart. I started a new relationship almost a year ago, and I love him. And I love him utterly. Oh, I see this a woman complaining, and I love him utterly. I was privately educated. I was privately educated. I am in a good profession, and I'm from a rich family. He is from a large family, is a manual laborer, and has no higher degrees. I am now getting a lot of negative comments from my family. Full stop. My parents refuse to accept him, but he is sensitive, funny, supportive, and I can see a bright future for us. Does love conquer all? Does love conquer all is a question, or I am being too romantic and gullible? Kukua. So let's see the answer. Love does not sweep every obstacle out of its own path. It's not love that conquers all. It is the lovers who have to do that. Who have to do that? Take full stop. It takes hard work and patience for love to triumph. Full stop. If you are both determined to forge a life together based on respect, affection, attraction, shared thoughts, and laughter, then get on with it and hope that eventually your family accepts your partnership on the evidence of what they see your continued happiness and your partnership on the evidence of what they see. um, uh, 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 column, two dots, then your continued happiness. So if they see you and your partner, you continue to be happy together, the family might accept you. So that's good advice. Maybe they will come round and maybe they won't. That really is their problem. If you have genuine faith in this relationship and go on with it, even against us, it must not be. It must not be to spite your parents by deliberately teaming up with someone they think unsuitable. It must be in spite of them. It must be in spite of them. Take into account that it is the man who is suffering the brunt of prejudice prejudice and contempt to expect the odd best, um, the odd outburst of anger against your family. Don't be blinded by any unpleasant realities, by fear of a future parental inverted commas. I told you so. Don't be feared by such things. Love is not being tested. You are. Love is not being tested. You too are. May you pass with flying colors. Uh, no strength. No strength. Let's see. Melissa Ahinsan. Melissa, Ahinsan Kumasi. I'm 36 and a professional woman. My husband and I have your children. Sorry, let me take it again. I'm 36 and a professional woman. My husband and I have 4 children. Yeah, have 4 children. And we used to have a very wonderful sex life. Our last born is 4, and I have lost all interest in intimacy. Auntie, I have no house help, and I have to do everything there is to be done at home all alone. My husband comes home late and does not do anything to assist me. He complains that I have distanced myself, but does not do anything to minimize my tiredness. Mm. I feel like hitting him. I feel like hitting him when he asks for sex. Of course, she's very tired. She works alone, and then all do that the man does is to come from work and then wants to, have her for wants her to satisfy his sexual needs. So let me repeat that. I feel like hitting him when he asks for sex. But can you advise me on how to heat things up again with my husband? Melissa Ahensen. Answer. What a shame that your husband seems to have lost his first love. The lack of concern on the part of your husband could kill all the desire to be available intimately for him. To be available intimately for him. Uh, but why hit him? Why hit him? As he seems to care for your body and not your suffering. I think that all is not lost yet. Then, paragraph. As two professional people, I presume you could both agree to have a house help. On the other hand, have a serious talk with your husband so that he could assist you with some of the house chores, especially taking responsibility for the children. Full stop. Despite your Despite your preoccupation with the load on you, do not forget that your husband is part of your world. So take some time to chat before bedtime. But what is the time? She's always working, Auntie. She's always working. She's told you that she's always working. So how does she have time to chat before bedtime? She doesn't have that time. Okay, have it. Have some time to chat before bedtime, and liven up yourself before going to bed. When you full stop. When you show concern, your husband will change from his old ways. All right, I think we stop here and continue. Let's see. Okay, let's see if we can finish with this page. Meddling mom. Let's go to meddling mom. My mother is way too involved in my life. Okay, I think this is by a man. She calls she calls at BAM. She calls at BAM on Saturday just to check in. If I unplug the phone, she gets hysterically she gets hysterical and drives over. I hate it, but my mother did bring me into the world. How can I get her off my back? So this is a lesson for people who have similar problems. Auntie Adiza says, you have a problem and your mother has a bigger one. True enough, she brought you into this world, but she doesn't understand that the primary reason we have children is to bring them up and then set them free. Yes, bring them up and then set them free. She has become dependent on you, and you have to detach yourself for her sake. Yourself for her sake, as well as your own, without losing her, entirely. You need to let her know how much her meddling distresses you. Uh, Call a meeting and let your father or relative speak to her. That's if the father is at home. If this father is within the family, let your father speak to her. If she objects, into brackets, and she probably will, bracket close, feel free to bully and bluster and threaten until she agrees to afford. That's to afford until she agrees to attend. Until the mother agrees to attend a meeting that he organizes. This will head off a go nowhere. This will head off a go nowhere confrontation, and let each of you speak to someone who hears you in a non-judgmental way while keeping the peace. It may seem too difficult, but remember, you are not. But remember, you are not only fighting for your own freedom; you are fighting for hers too. Mm. This is true. Okay, it's a short story. Let's just finish it. This is true by Rita Madina. I'm 17 and my boyfriend is 22. We've been together for 2 years and have plans to get married in the future. He traveled outside the country last year, and though he calls, he has never sent me anything. Well, he doesn't have it. Travel and see. Eh? Is it true? And the title is it true? And he hasn't sent me anything. Auntie, people tell me he now has a new girlfriend. He now has a new girlfriend there. That's why he does not send me anything. Full stop. Recently, he called me and in the conversation, he told me he was married. When I said it was okay with me, he quickly said it was a joke. Full stop. I am confused. Hmm. I think this is a hopeless man. Why do you do that? I think this is a hopeless man. Hmm? I am confused. And could it be true that he is really married? How does a woman know? Okay, she will give you clues. Rita, she will give you clues. And the answer is, Auntie Adiza says, your boyfriend tested your pulse by telling you that he was married. Why should he joke with such a very sensitive issue? Yes, with such a very sensitive issue. If it is true, if it is not true, with such a very sensitive issue, if it is not true, why should he joke with it? But that's why I say hopeless man. Uh, it is said that there is no smoke without fire, so it could be nothing but the truth that he has someone new in his life. You did not mention whether he was working or studying. Full stop. Perhaps you have to give him some time. You have to give him some time to settle. You have to give him some time to settle, and the gifts could follow. It's very important that you find out from your boyfriend if what you keep hearing is true. For my candid opinion, I would have advised that you choose his controversy. Sorry, I would have advised that you close this controversy and rather concentrate on your education. Good advice there. So, viewers, I think we've done enough. We will stop here and continue next time. Uh, new work at science that is. Okay, we will continue next time with the same paper. God willing. Thank you very much. Ilan likai. Bye bye.